Steam has launched a feature in the workshop to allow Skyrim modders a way to monetize their mods. Let's chat about it in the comments below, but first, my opinion. I'm Tarmack, and this is Feature Creep. Game modding has been around for a very long time. I remember playing modded games as far back as Wolfenstein 3D and Doom with such wonderful modifications as Street Fighter and Barney versions. To give a timeline, we're talking the mid-90s. Since then, massive communities have sprung up around the most moddable titles, keeping these games playable by both continuing patches as well as adding new content. Modding was responsible for the entire MOBA genre existing. Modders made Neverwinter Nights a primarily solo RPG into small-scale MMOs. They took the massive area of Skyrim in a whole range of new directions. Yeah, sure, every game that is moddable will have to deal with a deluge of nude patches before anything else comes out, but at the end of the day, the experience is vastly improved. Valve has turned on a feature within the Steam Workshop that allows modders to set a price on their mods. This feature is currently specific to Bethesda and is obviously an experiment to see whether the game community likes it, as confirmed by Gabe Newell on Reddit. The internet armchair activists, much like myself, have collectively hammered Valve over the issues for a few reasons. For starters, the most obvious is that mods up until now have always been free, mostly because they exist in a legal gray area of potential fair use and written or unwritten permission from companies by the provision of modding tools. Second, there's a huge amount of already verifiable abuse going on, with scammers posting other people's mods as well as mod compilations existing where the uploader doesn't have the rights to everything that's in the pack. A lot of this bleeds into my recent discussion of planned obsolescence, and as much as I feel like my predictions are fairly accurate in the game industry, I don't like being proven right because a lot of them are negative in general. Quite literally 10 days before the new Steam Workshop paid mod system went live, I made a comment that Bethesda may have actually hurt their future sales of new titles by making Skyrim too moddable. At the time, I couldn't have known what was coming down the pipe, but my logic was as follows. Like any other product-based industry, companies always want people buying their next product. If the last product was so good that you can continue to use it for many years to come, it will inevitably stop some people from purchasing the next one. Why? Because their last one still works great. Modders are adding new story to Skyrim, new textures, items, and plenty of other features. There are so many mods that you would have to spend thousands of hours to see them all. And sure, Bethesda sells more copies of Skyrim as a result, but at a far reduced price over a brand new release. Skyrim itself may be something of a bad example in this case though, because it's constantly on the Steam top list, and so obviously the money being made is substantial, but not every game has that luxury. The point being that while modding can and does extend the life of a product, it represents money being left on the table by way of people getting exciting new content for games they already own. So, can we really be surprised that somebody, somewhere, decided to monetize it? I think it's safe to say that all modders deserve to be compensated for the hard work they put in. Whether they want this or whether people would be willing to use the content if it was behind a paywall is a different matter, but those who are going as far as to say that their time and work is of no value, honestly, you're just being stupid. I was at a local convention where Trent Oster was speaking, and he mentioned that there was a solid period of time where BioWare did nothing but hire Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights modders. These people are incredibly skilled, and skill has value. It's that simple. Gabe Newell did up a Reddit Ask Me Anything post of sorts where he was blasted by questions from all angles, including Robin, the head of Nexus Mods, probably the biggest mod website online. Unfortunately, we didn't get a remarkable amount of answers from Gabe. He did confirm that it's something of an experiment. Whether it continues is entirely based on monetary return. He also stated that the 75% to Valve and Bethesda, 25% to the modder rev share was decided by Bethesda, though given that it's the same as the Team Fortress and Dota 2 rev share does indicate Bethesda likely just agreed to the existing model being best. He let everyone know that they'll be adding a pay what you want button that the mod creator can set to $0, which is a pretty good compromise, and last but not least, he made a comment that the mods had brought in a total of about $10,000 since being launched, which was about a week. That is indie-level success, but not even a blip on the Valve radar, to be frank. My view on the whole issue is that monetized content will always be abused. Here's how this system is currently being and will in future be abused as well. Stolen content monetized on Steam without permission. Stolen content from the paid Steam store being uploaded back on free download sites without author permission. Copyrighted content monetized, resulting in mass DMCA takedowns from music, movie, and book publishers. These things all suck, but in the grand scheme of it all, they're minor. The real problem, in my view, will come from the game publishers. We're already living with a DLC, DRM-centric industry. Companies already outsource DLC in a lot of situations, but they also outsource plenty of other things too. Let's just go ahead and pretend that this whole thing is going to be successful. So, publishers realize that they can make a lot of money from modders. 75% of the return is pretty nice from their side. Games become mod-friendly, but now that it's an income source, they have to protect it. Mods now can only be installed from official monetized sources being locked behind DRM. You can say that it's a slippery slope argument all you want, but the fact of the matter is that I don't trust these companies to act with the consumer's best interest in mind. If this system is successful, you can damn well expect mods to be locked behind DRM in titles that use the workshop. What all of this does is segregate an incredible community of talented people. The better way to handle all of this is focus less on the mods and more on the modders. Who would have a problem with someone like Durante, who single-handedly made Dark Souls playable on PC, setting up a Patreon to, further his mod work? Or maybe the creators of the Fallscar mod for Skyrim, a 20-hour voiced quest mod that has been downloaded 1.2 million times. The right way to handle mods is not to gate them behind paywalls. It is to support the modders that you like, who create the content that you want. I guess in all of this, I'm just disappointed in Valve yet again. They have the position and power to do some great things, but their hands-off approach won't work with mods. The abuse is already rampant, and it's only going to get worse. Hopefully, the community rejects this particular new feature. I don't see much good coming from it. But don't take that for me not believing that mods deserve to be paid. I believe that they certainly do deserve it. This just isn't the right way to go about that. What do you think about the whole modding controversy? I'd love to read your comments. Feature Creep is a regular show every Monday. Make sure you're subscribed so you can argue with me on a weekly basis. That's all I have to say. Tarmack out.